Might seem like a glamorous career, and the lives of famous actors can indeed be thrilling, but in the world of cinema, there are scenes that performers simply don't want to film. Welcome back to Take Two. Today, we're counting down the moments in Game of Thrones that its stars refuse to do. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into Hollywood's biggest hits. Number 1. The Walk of Atonement. One of the most unforgettable sequences in Game of Thrones appears at the end of Season 7 when Queen Cersei must endure a brutal public penance. As you can imagine, filming a scene like this is no easy feat. When Lena Headey first read the script, she refused to shoot it under her own name and contract. Instead, she insisted that a stunt performer play the part, and insisted on using CGI to map Cersei's face onto Rebecca Van Cleve's body. Lena Headey later explained her decision. Shooting this sequence took 3 full days in cold, wet conditions. If I'd had to perform it myself from start to finish, I couldn't have conveyed Cersei's raw emotion authentically. And as a mother, I didn't feel it was appropriate at my age to endure that level of physical and emotional stress. In the end, the combination of stunt work and CGI allowed Headey to focus on Cersei's inner rage and humiliation, leaving us with one of the series' most powerful moments of vengeance. Euron Greyjoy's character was arguably one of the most despised and infuriating figures on the show, especially in the final season. Admittedly, he was still better than Joffrey, and the actor did a remarkable job embodying him. On the Iron Islands, where House Greyjoy held sway, a coronation ritual demanded that the new king be submerged underwater by an officiant, sometimes for as long as the priest saw fit, and only if he survived the ordeal could he be proclaimed ruler. During filming, the crew planned to recreate this dunking ceremony, but they were unaware that Pilou Asbæk, who plays Euron, suffers from aquaphobia. He repeatedly refused to have his head pushed beneath the surface, forcing the production to break the shot into multiple short takes. Through careful editing, splicing together seconds of film from different moments, they finally assembled a scene. Asbæk later explained that the water's cold temperature and the terror of someone holding his head underwater made it impossible for him to film extended takes. Number 3. The Killing of Meryn Trant. You'll recall Arya's notorious kill list, with Meryn Trant, the former commander of King Joffrey's Kingsguard, at the very top. On the day of Trant's demise, Maisie Williams, Arya, disguised herself as a young woman and lured him into a brothel where she carried out the murder. Before delivering the fatal blow, Arya first stabbed Trant in the eyes to blind him. Then, after a brief exchange of dialogue, finished him off. Behind-the-scenes challenges. Maisie Williams's lenses. For the earlier training scenes in Braavos, Williams had to wear special contact lenses that rendered her blind for hours at a time. Despite the discomfort and disorientation, she persevered without incident. Ian Beattie's aquaphobia of blindness. In contrast, Ian Beattie, Meryn Trant, struggled with the simulated blindness. Filming the 2-minute sequence began at 9 a.m. but dragged on for 12 hours due to Beattie's refusals to keep his eyes covered. Production ultimately shortened the blocked action and cut down the dialogue to complete the scene. The end result, Arya's cold-blooded precision and Trant's panicked vulnerability, became one of the most chilling and talked-about moments in Game of Thrones. In one of the very first episodes of Game of Thrones, Daenerys is supposed to eat a horse's heart. For the shoot, the production first made a replica heart out of wax and tried to make it look real with food coloring, but Emilia Clarke became so nauseated that filming had to stop, and she opted out of performing the scene. The crew then created an entirely new prop heart using pasta ingredients and jam for blood. Even after this, they ran into problems. Emilia went through 28 different versions of the fake heart, each time taking a bite and nearly vomiting. The shoot stretched over several days until the directors finally pieced together footage from those 28 takes into a single usable scene. 5. The rift between Jerome, Flynn, and Lena Headey. You might recall Bronn and Cersei well, but here's a surprising fact. The actors who play them, Jerome Flynn and Lena Headey, never share a single on-screen moment. In several episodes, Bronn is shown commanding the Lannister army and serving House Lannister, yet he never actually meets his commander, Cersei, in any scene. The reason dates back to 2014, when Flynn and Headey had a brief romantic relationship that ended poorly. As a result, both negotiated clauses in their Game of Thrones contracts stipulating they would not appear together, even for 1 second. Production kept them strictly apart. When it came time to film Cersei's negotiation scene with Daenerys, both actors objected to shooting together. The showrunners ultimately rewrote the sequence so that just before the meeting begins, Bronn makes up a flimsy excuse and leaves, ensuring that Flynn and Headey never overlap on camera. The romantic scene between Daenerys and Jon Snow was something neither Emilia Clarke nor Kit Harington ever expected. From the very beginning of the series, their characters were just close friends, and no one in Season 1 would have guessed that Jon, the bastard son of Ned Stark, would turn out to be Daenerys' nephew. That revelation, and the prospect of a romance between them, did not sit well with the actors. Off-screen, they were good friends, often appearing together at parties and keeping in touch long after filming wrapped, so the idea of filming intimate scenes felt awkward. Both stars negotiated with the writers and director to scale back the romantic sequence and strip it of Game of Thrones' usual grandeur. Thanks to their efforts, the scene was shot very briefly, under low lighting, with only minimal dialogue exchanged. These adjustments satisfied everyone, and the showrunners never revisited the Daenerys-Jon romance in later seasons. I hope you enjoyed this short look at the challenges actors face in filming difficult scenes. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and share your own thoughts on acting hardships in the comments. Wishing you all the best. Goodbye.